Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're grabbing the ultimate playbook for competitive greatness, really pulling back the curtain on the mindset that separates, the legends from just the really, really good.
We are.
Yeah.
We're diving into some excerpts from Tim Grover's book, Relentless. Super intense stuff. And Grover, of course. I mean, this is the guy who trained Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade, pushed them to their absolute edges.
Yeah, and if you know anything about Grover, you know he doesn't really do fluffy inspiration. It's all about results. He's got this completely unfiltered, no excuses style. And central to it all is his idea of the ultimate competitor, the cleaner.
That's exactly our mission today. We want to
Yeah.
unpack these core principles, and yeah, some are pretty controversial that define this kind of unstoppable success.
Yeah.
Grover basically argues, look, if you want extraordinary results, forget the usual motivational talk.
Right.
You have to actually embrace the discomfort, the intensity. That's what makes it cleaner. Well, relentless.
Okay, let's get into the framework then. Because Grover says not all top performers are built the same. He actually sorts them into 3 distinct categories. And the key difference isn't just skill, is it? It's about mindset, action.
It's almost entirely mindset and intent. It's foundational to his whole philosophy. So first up, you've got the cooler.
Okay.
Grover says this is, well, most people. They tend to follow the crowd, kind of wait for instructions, and they're really good at avoiding those high-pressure moments where things could go wrong.
Yep.
Very reactive.
Safe. Playing it safe.
Exactly. Then you move up to the closer. Now, these are the folks we often call clutch, right?
The ones who deliver in the final seconds.
Yeah, they can perform when the stakes are high, fourth quarter, project deadline, whatever. But, and this is crucial in the source material, they often still look for that external pat on the back, the credit. And, importantly, closers think. They analyze before they act.
Right. And that thinking part is the setup for the final category.
The cleaner, this is a whole different animal. Relentlessly proactive, takes absolute charge, never ever satisfied. They operate on instinct, honed by just, countless hours of prep. They don't think, they act.
Okay, that's the point I really want to dig into. Don't think.
Mm-hmm.
Rule number 1, that sounds almost reckless, especially in high-stakes sports or business. How do you square don't think with needing, strategy?
Well, see, it's not really about being reckless. It's more about having absolute faith in your preparation. Thinking in that critical moment, Grover argues, is hesitation. It introduces doubt.
Okay.
He uses examples like an injured NBA player who secretly sought his help during the playoffs. They could shoot, obviously. The problem wasn't physical. It was the mental weight, the fear of missing, the overanalysis.
So the second you start thinking about the pressure or second-guessing your training, you seize up.
You got it. The complex strategy, the game plan, all that happens before. When the moment arrives, you have to trust the skills, the muscle memory you've built. That split second of deliberation, that's where the cooler freezes and the closer might falter. The cleaner just goes.
And he boils this cleaner path down to, 5 steps? A mantra almost. Decide, commit, act, succeed, repeat. It's just relentless forward motion. No room for waffling.
Zero room. It's a complete dismissal of hesitation. Grover's message is pretty blunt. If you're stuck planning, analyzing, inner drive is nothing more than thought without action. You only get results by doing, by acting on that prepared instinct.
That leap from analysis to pure instinct, that seems like the core transition. But, okay, where does the energy for that relentless action actually come from? I want to shift gears a bit to something, much more controversial in his philosophy.
Yeah, you're talking about the dark side.
Exactly. Let's unpack this because it sounds, potentially problematic. Cleaners are described as having and using this dark side. How does that raw energy fuel success without, frankly, blowing things up?
Right. So the dark side, as Grover frames it, isn't about being evil or unethical. It's that raw, kind of untamed instinct, that primal, aggressive drive for dominance, for success, that society generally tells us to, keep buttoned down.
So it's the competitive fire, the part that wants to win, maybe even dominate?
Precisely. It's about tapping into your most basic competitive wiring. Think power, control, the absolute refusal to lose. It's pure, focused fuel when channeled correctly.
The source uses the Jekyll and Hyde thing, right?
Yeah, it's a useful analogy. The cooler is terrified of that hide side, so they suppress it completely, lose the fight. The closer is in this constant battle, trying to control it, which leads to inconsistency, maybe moments of brilliance, but also hesitation.
And the cleaner?
The cleaner doesn't fight it, they harness it, they turn it into controlled power. It's their fuel source, their engine. It serves them, they don't serve it.
But, I mean, the sources acknowledge the risk here. The Tiger Woods example comes up this incredible, almost unmatched drive, clearly fueled by that intensity. But when it wasn't managed, that same dark side arguably contributed to massive personal and professional risks, scandals.
Absolutely. That's the razor's edge. Operating with that level of intensity means you're always pushing boundaries. And if you're not incredibly vigilant, that energy can spill over, create blind spots. It requires immense self-awareness and control, which isn't easy.
And this intensity, this different way of operating, it affects how cleaners relate to people, doesn't it? Socially.
Massively. Think about it. Coolers generally want to be liked. Closers often want respect, maybe admiration.
But cleaners, the book says they prefer being feared than liked.
That's the line, yeah. Fear and respect, earned through undeniable action and achievement. They don't need applause or external validation. They need opponents, competitors, to feel that deep-seated sense of, I can't beat this person. Dominance established by presence, by results, not by charm.
Michael Jordan springs to mind immediately. Obviously, the talent was off the charts. But Grover emphasizes his psychological game. He wasn't just outplaying people, he was getting in their heads, unsettling them before the game even tipped off, crushing their confidence.
Textbook, cleaner behavior. That psychological dominance is a huge part of it. And that kind of singular focus, that intensity, it leads to something else. Isolation.
Right. They have to accept being alone, essentially.
To a large degree, yes. They trust very, very few people. When you're operating at that level, laser-focused on being the absolute best, betrayal is catastrophic. It's just not acceptable. So you build walls. You're alone at the summit because, in many ways, that's the only way to maintain that uncompromising standard.
Okay, that level of commitment, the intensity, the isolation, it just sounds exhausting, mentally, physically, which brings up the question of burnout. How does a cleaner sustain this pace without completely flaming out?
They have a fundamentally different relationship with pressure and stress. They don't avoid it. They actually thrive on it.
Yeah.
They actively seek out challenging situations.
So that whole idea of someone having a clutch gene, performing only when the pressure's on, that's not how cleaners operate.
Not at all. For a cleaner, being clutch isn't reserved for special moments. They are clutch. Always. Because they demand that level of excellence from themselves constantly in practice, off-season training. Every moment matters. Pressure isn't something to endure. It's fuel.
Like the, quote, pressure bursts pipes.
But it also makes diamonds.
Oh.
Exactly. Cleaners run towards the stress, not away from it. It sharpens them.
And this connects back to those stories about work ethic, right? Dwayne Wade, Kobe. Their dedication wasn't just about talent. It was obsessive work.
Well, yeah, but Grover adds a nuance. He says they're addicted to the results of the work, not necessarily the grind itself. The relentless effort, the year-round professionalism, that's just the non-negotiable price of admission to get the results they crave.
Okay, addicted to results. So when they achieve a huge victory, win the championship, close the massive deal, that must be an incredible feeling, right? A huge celebration.
You'd think so, but it's actually, well, more complicated. Grover describes it as the quiet melancholy of victory. Cleaners do not really celebrate achievements in the way others do.
Why not?
Because they're never satisfied. They are fundamentally wired to always want more. A victory is.
Yeah.
Okay, confirmation they're on the right track, maybe brief satisfaction, but it immediately pivots to what's next. The hunger is constant.
Wow. So winning isn't the end point, it's just proof you're ready for the next fight.
Precisely. The goalpost immediately moves, and their view on failure is just as radical.
How so?
A cleaner doesn't recognize failure in the way most people do.
Yeah.
A loss, a setback, a missed target. It's not processed as I failed. It's processed as data, information.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity to analyze what went wrong, adapt the strategy, and figure out a different way to get the desired outcome next time. It's feedback, not a final judgment.
The book mentions Jordan after that 95 playoff loss, right? He didn't see it as the end.
Exactly. He saw it as, okay, this approach didn't work this time. What do I need to do differently? Failure in this mindset only truly happens when you decide it's over, when you stop adapting and trying. A cleaner keeps going until they decide they're done, not when someone else tells them they are.
Which means taking absolute, total ownership, no excuses.
100%. It's all on you.
Okay, so let's try to bring this all together for the listener. The core pillars of this cleaner mindset. We're talking instinctive action, ditching the overthinking.
Right. Harnessing that raw internal drive, that dark side, in a controlled way.
Actively seeking out pressure, thriving on it, not fearing it.
And a perpetual dissatisfaction. Never resting on laurels, always demanding more, always focused on the next objective.
It's an incredibly demanding standard.
It really is. And the takeaway for you listening, it's about understanding that adopting even parts of this requires making some really decisive choices. It means taking full responsibility, embracing the uncomfortable, and prioritizing excellence over just being, good enough or comfortable.
It definitely sets an internal bar that ignores a lot of the external noise and need for validation.
Completely.
So thinking about all this relentless drive, this focus on action over just thinking about it. Here's a final thought. If a cleaner persists until they decide they're done and acts on instinct born from preparation, what's that one thing, maybe small, maybe big, that you've already prepped for? Deep down, you need to do it.
Yeah, but you're letting maybe fear or just endless analysis get in the way. What would it look like if you just took that first decisive step, if you just acted on instinct right now?
Something to really chew on as you think about your own next level. We'll see you on the next deep dive.